what is the root cause of suicide and depression? Right? So that's the question. That's what we need to know. We're not going to be skirting around being articulate and all this and that. We're just going to get straight to it. We want to get in there, right? We want to be able to, get our shovels and or whatever other tools mentally that we can, so that we have a tangible, finite comprehension of this, so that we can get digging, right? And to the root of this problem. Okay? So what is the root cause of suicide and depression, right? And simply has everything to do with the way you perceive the world, right? Whether you look at the world negatively or positively, whether you look at it as a doom and gloom, whether you look at it will never get better, whether you look at people will never change and my life will never be how I want it to be, they'll never accept me, or those kinds of things, which we all go through as children or teenagers, and then even extends into adulthood, because those problems exacerbate themselves because the root causes of those problems latch on in our mind, and we lack that full comprehension of this particular problem, which is a very serious problem. Now, depression on its own is very simple. It passes. We're going to talk about that later, right? That passing of depression. For now, we must understand that it is the way you perceive the world. Your vision is very key and very valuable to you as a person, because it makes you innovative, makes you capable of problem solving, makes you capable of creativity, and all these different kinds of skills. And so when you see other people's shapes of the world are projected on you, whether through the movie, through the TV, through whatever it is, and it becomes something that shapes your world, that changes your comprehension of your life, right? That makes things morbid, doom and gloom. Oh my God, everything's gonna end. People are. This is failing. This is bad. This is that. These people won't listen. They won't let me be who I am. And this is a part of it, right? Because in your mind you shape a collage, a pastiche of all these pictures of this false coming together of pictures and pastiche in your mind, which create this overview outlook of the world, right? My mother doesn't like me. My father's upset with me. The neighbors ignore me. This and that. And sure, in some cases, you're probably right. But we must avoid the rooting of these problems to where they become conclusive in our minds, right? To where we say, oh, this is it. That's how life is. I'm going to live my life this way. And then end and finish, right? And the moment we fall into that morbid, that end, that finish, and that living in the past, and that problem starts to root itself, that's where we go from the stages of the depression to the suicide stages, right? Where it becomes we become both a danger to ourselves and danger to others around us, right? And we see that, oh, well, nothing will change. They won't ever change, right? And the moment you see that nothing will change and other people around you won't change, right? And what will you do, right? So these are the questions now. What your mind is going to do, okay? So there are crisis actors out there that are that are directing you in a wrong way. They're telling you that this is the problem, that's the problem, that the superficial things, the material things, the objects around you are causing the problems, right? And the more we move away from looking at those things about ourselves, right? The things about ourselves, the inner, the psyche, and perceiving and using our vision to look at ourselves, that's when we start to separate ourselves from what we are, who we are, and what we truly, our true potential is, right? And then the world becomes this bad place, this dark place, okay, this morbid place with all these problems, and with the media circulating everything, and the social media and all them circulating all these things everywhere around, images and people talking about it and mentioning it and commenting and expressing and showing it, sampling it in their behaviors. It tends to facilitate this reality. Now, what we must comprehend that's very key. So here we go. So this is very key. Okay? That thoughts of a suicide are through the images of the mind, with the thinking of the past as the forever continuation of one's current reality. Or, as I like to call it, neurochromatic psyche, or simply psychological time. However, as illusory and fake that it is, roots itself in creating this pseudo-factual state in our mind, where it takes on a pseudo-fact, right? A pronoun, okay? A pseudo-fact. And this pseudo-fact plays itself in our reality, right? As a fact, right? Because people confirm it. Other people are also living in this pseudo-fact or life. And so this pseudo-fact life, okay, becomes a now psychological burden and blockage on the mind for us to see the facts, right? To see truth of what we're going through and what's taking place. Okay, this is a very positive thing that Andrew Tate was capable of pulling people through this. And although he lacks the full comprehension of this knowledge, then this hopefully will give some clarity to a lot of Andrew Tate fans, followers, so that there's a full closure or comprehension of where you're going about in solving this problem, right? Because that's what we want to get to, okay? At some point we got to solve that problem, right? We can have knowledge and information on it, and someone can articulate it or mansplain it for us better than maybe others can, and we might take some offense to it and things like that. But the point is this, okay? The point is that the world you're living in and the people around you, including like Andrew Tate as well, meaning as he is on this particular topic of human psyche and cognition, it's very key that we also comprehend the root causes of something. Because if you don't have a clarity on the root causes of something, then you can't have a solution. Okay, so that's a fact. So we must be really true and honest with ourselves and say, look, if I'm informed, I have some knowledge, that's great, but I must know the root causes, right? Because it's like a starving guy staring at people eating, right? You smell it, feels good, it looks good, you see it, but you can't digest it, right? So you're still in the same hunger. So there's a hunger for this knowledge, and there's a value in this knowledge. And we're gonna go ahead now, jump straight into smooth, fluid, this solution. Okay, so the solution for this problem, which may seem like, well, why would that be the solution? Why would I do that? What's the point of that? That doesn't make sense. It's very simple. Whatever you're going through, okay, whatever it is, this is applicable for anything. One must watch, perceive, and let everything that you're going to take its place, its moment, its growth, right? Don't conflict, or just minus the conflict that we have, right, with what we're going through. And one must really look at this within themselves, right, and see it for what it is, without adding words, modifications, verbalizing everything. Just observe, right? Just watch. Just look at your mind. Look at what you're going through. Look at the way you see the world, right? See the world, right? Look at the world. And also check it, test it. Be your own scientist of yourself. This isn't just psychology. This is mathematics. This is science. This is all of it combined. Because you must test. You must validate the facts, okay? Validate these things. Go out there and test it. Validate it. Test yourself, right? You're looking at yourself. You're testing yourself. How good are you at looking at yourself? Because if you can't sit there and look at yourself and look at what you're going through, how can you comprehend what someone else is going through? It's even much more complicated. Because you can't be in their heads. You can't see them. You don't know what they're thinking. There are some of us out there who can. That's not you. Okay? Because if you're struggling with this problem, it's not you. So, learning about yourself. Okay? Learning about yourself. And then learning about yourself is the learning about what we are. What the whole human consciousness is going through, okay? What the whole human race and being is going through, okay? Right? And with that knowledge, right, which is here, okay, which is part of your psyche, okay? Don't look anywhere else. You go to a psychologist, you go to this guy, you go to that guy. It's entertaining. I get it. They're articulate, doing whatever they can to sway, get the views, get you to buy this, do that. But without the watchfulness and perception of oneself, one cannot comprehend the other, each other. That's a fact, okay? And most of us are out there trying to comprehend everybody else, right? We're trying to go out there and comprehend others before we can comprehend and look at ourselves, right? So bring everything home, okay? I know you're going to deal with some challenges and conflicts, but bring it all home, okay? Bring it home, all right? Right? Feel it in your heart, okay? Feel it in your heart. Part of it is your heart. Listen to your heart, gut, your heart, your circulatory system, right? Listen. It isn't always about the verbal, right? Can your body sense this, right? Can your body sense this? Okay? It's all up here. And you're stuck up here, stuck in your thoughts, right? And that's where then you begin to be trapped and caught up in that same problem again. Because our thoughts are what the problem was. Our thoughts about the world, our perception about the doom and gloom that we have imagined, that we have put into images and pastiche, as we said earlier, pastiche and images that have been collaged together that don't fit together, but they seem like they're pseudo, they seem factual, right? But they're pseudo-facts, okay? And learning the difference between the fact and the pseudo-fact, right, is where that clarity starts to clear up that smog a little bit, right? I'm gonna let things out on the on the surface of our view, right? So we can see things clearly, right? And observe these things and look at these things from our own perception. Because no matter what anyone says to you out there, me or anyone else, unless you see it for yourself, unless you observe it, unless you look at it for yourself, it is not thoughts and ideas from someone else, but you observe it for yourself, then and then only can one state that it's a fact and that they own that knowledge, that they own that fact, that they see it for themselves. It is not your mother, not your father, not your psychologist, not your TV, not your whoever telling you, right, influencing you, whatever. You see it for yourself. Okay? See this for yourself. Okay? Alright. That wasn't so hard, right?